I thought I was going to get called, but I really didn't think I would.
So you must have thought you were more than you thought you wouldn't.
Profound.
It is profound.
I'm hoping to find some quantifiable answers, solutions to increase my desires, such as creative visualization, writing things down, something to keep me aligned when I'm being challenged to go to that side I don't really want to be.
The book our friend was talking about, Ask and It Is Given, has 22 quantifiable processes in the back of it that are all about exactly what you're asking for. However, there is something more that we want to say to you, to all of you, about visualization, writing things down, scripting. Because of what we've already talked about here today, you're going to hear this easily. Whatever vibration you've got going on, whether it is a vibration of pure desire or a vibration of pure doubt or a little bit of each, whatever vibrations you've got going on, your attention to them will increase them. So the point that we're making is, before you do any scripting or any visualization or really any conversation you want to have a sense of where you are vibrationally, because wherever you are, you're going to increase it through your scripting, through your thinking about it. And that's why we say sometimes you try too hard. You're not in a good place, and then you think, well, I'll just work harder and I'll get in a better place. And when you're not in a good place and you work harder, you get in a worse place. You have to find some way to shift it, which means the shifting is easier if it takes place at a slower vibrational place. We've given the analogy of the train. So let's say you want something, well, you might be able to pivot and shift that if your desire and your belief are about equal. But if you've got desire, 10 desire engines and 10 doubt engines going on, then when you script, it's not going to get better. So we've been giving analogy, and since you're new, we're happy to give it to you again, of imagine yourself at the top of a San Francisco hill. Esther remembers this first-time experience vividly. And imagine yourself taking your car out of gear and taking the parking brake off and just deciding that you're just going to nudge it a little just to see what's going to happen. Well, you're wise enough to know what's going to happen. It's going to roll down the hill. It's going to gain momentum as it goes. It's going to plow through what gets in its way, and it's going to end up in the bay. If you let it go, that is what's going to happen. Momentum says that it will happen. So you're smarter than that. You don't want that to happen. So you nudge it a little bit, but just as it begins to roll, instead you step in front of it and it just bumps you a little bit and it stops. But you would not want to be at the bottom of the hill trying to stop that vehicle. So in the same way, we don't want you to be at the bottom of the hill scripting. We don't want you to be at the bottom of the hill trying to turn it around, because you're not going to turn it around. It's going to mow you down. Because what you're thinking about is what you're thinking about. And even though you've got a smile on your face and you're using happy sounding words, and maybe even you get a tone in your voice that sounds different than you feel, how you feel is attracting more to you. So the worse you feel, the more we want you to go to sleep. The worse you feel, the more we want you to get off the subject. Get off the subject that has the momentum. Now you can do that. You can get off the subject that has the momentum and onto another subject that has no momentum, like a feather. You think we're kidding. Now that feather has momentum. You see what we're getting at? It really is. The leading edge conversation is. And here you are. You think you're a first timer, but you're not. Here we are having the most leading edge conversation about deliberate creation that we've had in a long time. When you feel like you need to try harder, don't. because efforting is counter to vibrational allowing. So what you really want, you want inspiration in the scripting. You want to say something and then feel inspired to say it more. And if you're struggling to say it, then if it's not flowing easily, then it's better to change the subject altogether. So now ask your question again, because now we've given you a basis of understanding. If you can, ask the question pretty much the way you ask it the first time. I would like some quantifiable.
Oh, you want me to repeat it?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'd like some quantifiable examples of how I can maintain myself at a higher vibration.
Now you said something really good when you said maintain myself at a higher vibration, because maintaining yourself at a high vibration, then all the scripting and all the conversation that you can do is a wonderful thing. That's milking it. When you know you're there maintaining it, that's the time to do it. Do it when you're maintaining it and wanting it to be more. But when you're not there, change the subject. And if you get your attention off the problem subject long enough, it will dissipate into nothing that is active enough in your vibration that will affect you. It's like the trains that are about your desire are still robust, and those other trains just keep falling off and falling off and falling off until you're so free of resistance that you're sailing in the direction of what you want.
Sounds beautiful.
Helpful?
Absolutely. Can I ask one other question, please?
Yes, and we can demonstrate with you an example of it if you are wanting. Pick some subject and get a little momentum. Some subject where you're already there, not some challenge or something that you're trying to make happen, but some subject where you're already there. And let's milk it, not because we're trying to make something happen with it, but for the pleasure of what it feels like when momentum gathers speed. In other words, it just feels better.
Okay.
Because
yes,
you got the concept that we gave you about your vortex and your inner being and really how high and fast that energy is. So here's a statement you can always count on. No matter how high you think you are, your inner being is higher. So there is more momentum to be experienced. There is more exhilaration to be accomplished. There is more clarity to be received. There is always more, because your inner being will always have less resistance about your subjects than you do, no matter how good you think you feel. Ooh, don't you like that? So that's the reason. Not only is that first timer bringing forth something that we've never talked about before, not only is that a way to increase momentum, that's the reason that more momentum is even possible, because it's already underway. We interrupted you.
So I have a great passion to help others.
Because?
It feels good.
Tell us more about that. Because we're going to use what we were talking about before. Because I'm appreciating so much the beneficial life that I live and the abundance that shows itself to me in so many ways all day, every day. And when that momentum gets going, the next logical step is that I flow it wherever I'm inspired to flow it. Now, did you feel how there was no resistance in that statement? Did you feel that? Now, here's another way of saying it where there would be more resistance. I have so much to give, and there are others who are in need. And it doesn't seem right, feels unfair for me to be prospering in these ways and someone else not to. So I'm just trying to even it out a little. Now that was laden with resistance, because that's defying the laws of the universe as they are. So sometimes when we talk about this subject, people accuse us of teaching people to be selfish. We say we do. We want you to be selfish. Because if you're not selfish enough to insist on your alignment, then you don't have anything to give. And so if you're not in that receiving mode, which is the replenishing mode, and you're giving to others, and you're not replenishing, then you're going to begin to become depleted, and then the whole thing turns into something. And certainly you've had those experiences where something that seemed wonderful in the beginning turned to a place that felt uncomfortable to you in time. Because in the exact way, we like this so much, in the exact way that you must be in the receiving mode to receive from Source and the abundant universe, they must be in the receiving mode to receive from you. So when you give where someone is not able to receive, you get a little electrocuted, just a little.
So you already answered my second part. Thank you.